Chapter 101, Terrifying Great Sage, Severely Injured Friend. That's it, Zhou Fan almost exploded when he heard the Black Hell Chicken's words. He felt insulted. How dare a chicken mock him? He was afraid of offending Hanju just now, so he didn't use his full strength. If he did, wouldn't he blow this stinky chicken to the sky? Zhou Fan suddenly raised his leg and gathered his spirit energy in his knee. With unstoppable force, he collided with the Black Hell Chicken. The Black Hell Chicken was sent flying by his knee while Zhou Fan leaped up as well. The man and the chicken rushed into the sky and continued fighting. Zhou Fan didn't look like a cultivator, but more like a martial artist from the mortal world. His punches and kicks were powerful and heavy. Each move shook the sky, causing the airflow to become visible. The Black Hell Chicken had been defending passively like a sandbag, but anyone with eyes could see that Zhou Fan did not cause any substantial damage to it. In Hanju's words, this was like a massage. Mo Fuzhou couldn't help but ask, "Brother Han, what breed is this chicken?" Hanju smiled and said, "An ordinary chicken. I caught it from a farmer of the Jade Pure sect and raised it for hundreds of years." Mo Fuzhou was shocked. Xian also looked at Hanju in surprise. A mortal chicken could be nurtured to the void amalgamation realm, impossible. This chicken definitely had an extraordinary bloodline and fortuitous encounter. It was just that Hanju happened to pick it up. Potential was too important in cultivation. It determined the upper and lower limits. Sun Chang'an shook his head. This stinky chicken was too cautious. The reason why the Black Hell Chicken had been defending was not to toy with Zhou Fan. He wanted to know what Zhou Fan was capable of. Hanju had told him before that some people had stronger abilities beyond their cultivation realm. Some also liked to pretend to be a pig to eat the tiger. The Black Hell Chicken was very perceptive despite how silly it looked. It couldn't see through Xian cultivation level, but for her to accompany Zhou Fan meant that he was also extraordinary. However, after fighting for a while, it figured out the truth. This kid is really weak. The Black Hell Chicken laughed. "I'm not acting anymore. Brat, are you prepared to face the pain of failure?" Shocked, Zhou Fan subconsciously retreated. The Black Hell Chicken flapped its wings, and countless strands of sword chi shot out from its feathers, sweeping over like torrential rain. The speed of the sword chi was swift like a graceful swan. Zhou Fan had no time to react as his face turned pale. He sensed death again, too familiar. After all, he had died before. At the last moment, powerful spirit energy enveloped him, helping him counteract the Black Hell Chicken's sword chi boom. The Black Hell Chicken's sword chi immediately dissipated. Zhou Fan widened his eyes. The spirit energy around him was extremely vast. The spirit energy aura made him feel as if he had seen it before. Was not Xian spirit energy, but Hanju's. "Let's end this here," said Hanju. Concluding the battle, Zhou Fan was stunned. Mo Fuzhou thanked Hanju and hurriedly pulled Zhou Fan away. Xian did not say anything else and left with the two. The Black Hell Chicken returned to him and said proudly, "Master, how's my strength? I didn't embarrass you, did I?" Hanju said expressionlessly, "That woman just now was at the 9th level of the body integration realm. She has a close relationship with Zhou Fan. If you had hurt him, do you think you could have defeated her?" The Black Hell Chicken shuddered. "Oh, Lord, no wonder I couldn't see through her cultivation level. She's a 9th level body integration realm cultivator." The Black Hell Chicken's smugness vanished, replaced by a deep sense of fear. Hanju shook his head and stopped speaking to the chicken. He returned to his cave abode. In less than 3 days, the news of Zhou Fan and Mo Fuzhou's return spread throughout the entire Jade Pure sect. In the past, the two of them had also been impressive prodigies of the Great Yin. In addition, they had betrayed the sect and fallen to the demonic path, making them even more legendary. The two of them were already at the nascent soul realm. Most of their fellow disciples were still in the Golden Core realm. When Mo Fuzhou learned that Mo Zhu was fine and had broken through to the nascent soul realm, he was stunned. Was only at the nascent soul realm because he fought desperately outside. Mo Zhu stayed in the Jade Pure sect and was in seclusion the whole time. Her cultivation level was actually not weaker than his. Mo Fuzhou doubted life. Ever since Zhou Fan had been defeated by the Black Hell Chicken, he had shut himself off. He hid in the inn and did not leave his house. He could only let Mo Fujo visit his old friends alone. A month later, Mo Fujo and Xian came to visit Hanju again. Zhou Fan did not come, and the cave abode. Mo Fujo thanked Hanju. If he hadn't stopped Mo Zhu and she had gone out alone, she might have died. The Mo family had too many enemies. Is Zhou Fan alright? Hanju asked. He sympathized with Zhou Fan, but he had no choice. Who asked this fellow to challenge him? Mo Fujo shook his head and said with a bitter smile, he's still hiding in the inn, but he's fine. He has suffered quite a few blows before, he can adjust his state of mind. Brother Han, what's your current cultivation level? The Void Amalgamation Realm? Xian Shishir sat at the side and smiled. Hanju replied, about there. Mo Fujo's smile became even more bitter. They were only in the nascent soul realm. But Hanju was already. Mo Fujo wasn't a pretentious person. He immediately adjusted his state of mind and said, we met your disciple Yang Tiandong previously. He has completely transformed into a demon and has taken the great sage Green Python as his foster father. If not for him saving us earlier, we would have been eaten by the great sage. Hanju frowned instantly. What the heck, another foster father? Was this kid's surname Lu? In his previous life, Hanju was really speechless. Previously, Demon King Dian Su had already stopped causing trouble and Yang Tiandong was still running around. If he wanted to run, so be it. In the end, he had to acknowledge another Demon King as his foster father. On the way back, we heard that Yang Tiandong and the Great Sage of Chaos colluded with the other Demon Kings to besiege Great Sage Green Python. They were completely slaughtered. Furious, he ordered the pursuit of Yang Tiandong. This matter caused quite a stir. Mo Fujo continued, when Hanju heard that, he immediately checked the emails through his interpersonal relationships. Only he could see the screen of the system. Your pet, the chaotic heavenly dog, was attacked by demons, X10421. Your disciple Yang Tiandong was attacked by demons, X6982. Your divine pet, the chaotic heavenly dog, was attacked by a demon king. It was severely injured and fell into the 9 Nether Great Swamp. Its fate is unknown. Your disciple Yang Tiandong was attacked by a demon king and was severely injured. He encountered an ancient teleportation formation and escaped. Your good friend Huang Zuantian was attacked by a demon king and was severely injured. Your good friend Shangguan Qiujian was attacked by a demon king and was severely injured. Your disciple Su Qi was attacked by a fellow disciple, X4. Your disciple Su Qi spread bad luck. The luck of the demon taming sect is declining. The sect's spirit Qi is beginning to collapse. Hanju was stunned. So many fights, from the looks of it, the great sage of chaos was the chaotic heavenly dog. He never expected that dog and his disciple to end up being beaten together. Xian Shishir suddenly said, that great sage Green Python can enter the Tribulation Transcendence realm at any time. His cultivation level is unfathomable. I was almost injured when I saved the two of them. Even a 9th level body integration realm cultivator could not defeat great sage Green Python. Hanju frowned even more. How did Yang Tiandong escape from the python's clutches? It seemed that the battle was very intense. Other mighty figures were holding great sage Green Python back. Was Huang Zuantian and Shangguan Qiujian among them? Huang Zuantian, 9 Dragons Sect Master, 1st level of the Void Amalgamation Realm. Shangguan Qiujian, Sword Elder of the True Martial Sect, 9th level of the Void Amalgamation Realm. Neither of them should be a match for Great Sage Green Python. 1. In the 3 Kingdoms, Lu Bu had a few foster fathers. Chapter 102, 7th level of the Body Integration Realm, Tragic Situation. Tribulation Transcendence Realm. Such a great demon is definitely a disaster for us humans. I wonder if Yang Tiandong can escape. Sigh. Mo Fujo sighed. The thought of Great Sage Green Python's terrifyingness made him shiver. He didn't want to face him again. Look, it's very dangerous outside. Brother Mo, why don't you stay in the Jade Pure sect in the future? Hanju said meaningfully. Mo Fujo did not immediately refuse. Instead, he sighed. His Tao heart had indeed wavered. Although most of the Mo family's enemies had been eliminated and the remaining forces did not dare to cause trouble for them, he and Zhou Fan were both fiendish cultivators. It wasn't appropriate for them to stay in the Jade Pure sect. Xian stared at Han Ju and asked with a smile, "Does fellow Taoist Han have a Dao companion?" Han Ju nodded and asked, "Why do you ask?" He didn't mention the relationship between Xian Shishir and Xian Qingjun. He was still wary of Xian Qingjun. What if she was up to something? Nothing. Xian Shishir shook her head and smiled. She didn't intend to reveal her connection with Xian Qingjun. Xian Qingjun said that Han Ju didn't know her true identity. The two of them did not disturb him for long. After chatting for a while, they left. From the beginning to the end, Xian Shishir didn't develop any favorability toward Han Jue. As soon as they left the Cultivate diligently become Immortal Mountain, Han Ju immediately entered the simulation trial and fought with her. At the 6th level of the body integration realm, Han Ju fought against Xian Shishir, who was at the 9th level of the body integration realm. Instant kill. Han Ju heaved a sigh of relief after defeating such a weak Xian Shishir. It seemed that Great Sage Green Python might not be that strong. It were him, Xian Shishir wouldn't have been able to save Mo Fuzhou and Zhou Fan from him. Han Ju took out the Book of Misfortune and started cursing Great Sage Green Python. He had never seen the python before, so he could only curse using the name, and the actual effectiveness was unknown. West Abyss, 9 Dragons Sect, Huang Zuantian returned to his palace. When the door closed, he let out a long sigh. "I'm finally back. I can't go out anymore, and I can't save just anyone." Huang Zuantian smiled bitterly. Recalling what had happened, he couldn't help but tremble. A few years ago, a large sect invited all the sect masters in the world to discuss the Tao together and build a good relationship. Huang Zuantian and the true martial sect's sword elder, Shangguanqiu Jian, went while the sect masters were discussing the Tao in the deep mountains. They happened to encounter Great Sage Green Python pursuing Yang Tiandong. Huang Zuantian knew Yang Tiandong. After all, he used to be the sect master of the Raincoat sect. Therefore, he saved him. As a result, he incurred Great Sage Green Python's wrath. Even with all the sect masters working together, they were still no match for him. Great Sage Green Python was too powerful. If not for the fact that there was a powerful cultivator nearby, Great Sage Green Python might have killed all of them. Huang Zuantian couldn't help but think of Han Ju. Would that senior be able to defeat him immediately? Huang Zuantian started healing. Unfortunately, things never went as planned. Great Sage Green Python had defeated more than 10 demon kings and his prestige had soared. More and more demons joined his ranks. In his fury, he began to take revenge on the demon king who had attacked him. The demon king had been killed by him and his subordinates had to submit or die. In the short span of a few years, Great Sage Green Python's power had skyrocketed. He had begun to advance toward the human race. He used the excuse of chasing after Yang Tiandong to attack the human territory. Yang Tiandong was once half human, half demon. Great Sage Green Python had claimed that Yang Tiandong had already transformed into a human. If he did not take revenge, he would not be a great sage of the demon race. For a time, the humans of the various provinces panicked. As tall as a small mountain, Great Sage Green Python sat halfway up the mountain. At the foot of the mountain, a huge pot was boiling with soup. One could vaguely see bones inside. Not far away, hundreds of mortals were sitting on the ground, trembling. There were demons everywhere, many of them were gnawing on human bodies. The scene was extremely cruel and bloody. It was like purgatory. Great Sage Green Python frowned as he hissed. Strange, recently, he had felt the power of a curse disrupting him. Even wearing a numinous treasure couldn't completely negate the effect. If not for his extraordinary foundation and the numinous treasure, he might have been seriously injured by the mysterious curse. It seemed like it was time to break through to the Tribulation Transcendence realm. At this moment, an eagle demon flew over and said, "Your Majesty, Yang Tiandong has already fled into the Guyuan state. Do you still want to pursue him?" Great Sage Green Python's expression darkened and it harumphed. "Of course. Even if he flees to the ends of the world, I'll still hunt him down. I'll slaughter any sect or city that dares to take him in. If I don't kill him, I won't be able to quell the hatred in my heart. Yes. The eagle demon quickly turned around and left. Thinking of Yang Tiandong made the great sage Green Python furious. He was already very tolerant of him, but this fellow actually dared to collude with other demon kings to attack him. Ridiculous, absurd. Great sage Green Python had made up his mind to pursue Yang Tiandong to the end. Along the way, he would slaughter as he pleased and feed on the humans. If any major sects in the cultivation world asked, he would use Yang Tiandong as an excuse. Great sage Green Python was indeed furious, but he did not lose his mind. His true goal was to expand his influence. I'll find a place to transcend the tribulation first. Once I reach the tribulation transcendence realm, that traitor can forget about living. Great sage Green Python secretly decided. Inside the connate cave abode, bleeding from his 7 orifices, Hanju put down the Book of Misfortune. He thought to himself, I wonder how the great sage Green Python is now? Somehow, he felt that it was not going well, because Yang Tiandong was still being beaten and hunted. If great sage Green Python were to find him, he would definitely die. However, all that happened were demon attacks. What did that mean? This meant that great sage Green Python was likely in seclusion, attempting to break through to the tribulation transcendence realm. Hanju immediately felt a strong sense of danger. After all, he had yet to fight a tribulation transcendence cultivator. When Yang Tiandong had nowhere else to go, he would definitely return to the Jade Pure sect. If great sage Green Python came along, he would have to face it. Hanju took a deep breath and didn't continue cursing the vermilion bird and Mo Yuling. Instead, he began to meditate and cultivate. A year later, Mo Fuzhou, Zhou Fan, and Shen Shishir left the Jade Pure sect. They left very suddenly. Li Qingzi didn't even have the chance to stop them. Another 6 years passed. Hanju finally broke through to the 7th level of the body integration realm. The heaven and earth grass was also growing healthily. With the help of the Fusong tree and the earth immortal gourd vine, the spirit chi of the Cultivate diligently become immortal mountain was constantly increasing. The cultivation of the black hell chicken, Sun Chang'an, and fairy Shixian also kept increasing, but not as fast as Hanju's. Hanju checked his emails. Your pet, the chaotic heavenly dog, was attacked by demons, X14021. Your disciple Yang Tiandong was attacked by demons, X12842. Your good friend Taoist 9 Cauldrons was attacked by righteous cultivators, X199. Your good friend Chang Yuer was attacked by righteous cultivators, X12. Your good friend Huang Jihao was attacked by demons, X1073. Your disciple Su Qi was attacked by a fellow disciple, X2174. Your disciple Su Qi was severely injured. His life was hanging by a thread. Fortunately, the Devil Master saved him. Your disciple Su Qi spread bad luck. The demon taming sect was slaughtered by the Devil Master and the entire sect perished. Your good friend Zhou Fan was attacked by a fiendish cultivator, X2681. Hanju read his emails and thought, how tragic. Chapter 103, Su Qi's Guess, The Growing Heaven and Earth Grass. The demon taming sect was gone. Hanju sighed when he saw this news. Like Yang Tiandong, Su Qi also acknowledged a new foster father. The Devil Master had actually helped him slaughter the demon taming sect. Perhaps the Devil Master was bloodthirsty, to begin with, but used Su Qi as an excuse. Hanju also noticed that Chang Yuer and Taoist 9 Cauldrons were also attacked. It seemed that the overseas was not peaceful recently. Fortunately, I didn't go out. No matter how high my cultivation level is, I'll be easily beaten. Hanju thought silently. Then, he took out the Book of Misfortune and started cursing Great Sage Green Python, Vermilion Bird, and Mo Yuling. Spent 7 days on each person, not showing any bias. North State. In the past, the demon taming sect had been massacred by a mysterious fiendish cultivator. The entire sect had been annihilated. This matter shook the entire North State, causing many cultivators to panic. The demon taming sect had been reduced to ruins. At this moment, a person was walking among the ruins. It was Su Qi. After the Devil Master had left, Su Qi had been cultivating in seclusion. After breaking through to the nascent soul realm, He had escaped the valley and returned to the demon-taming sect. However, after that, the disciples who had disliked him in the past began to target him again. Unable to tolerate it any longer, Suchi killed them. The sect elders were furious and imprisoned him in the demon-taming sect's dungeons, torturing him daily. Several months ago, the dungeon shook violently. The disciples guarding the dungeon left one after another and never returned. During this time, Suchi had been recuperating and conserving his strength. Today, he had broken through the restriction placed on him by the demon-taming sect and escaped. The moment he came out, Suchi was shocked by the scene before him. Several months had passed and no one had cleaned up the remains of the demon-taming sect. All of the corpses were rotting. A stench and the smell of blood filled the air, making Suchi want to vomit. What happened? They're all dead? Startled, Suchi looked around in confusion. He suddenly thought of a possibility. Did Master attack? But why didn't Master save me from the dungeon? Wait, with the destruction of the demon-taming sect, wouldn't I be able to return? The return trip would also be a test. No wonder Master did not appear. After Suchi thought it through, he was instantly enlightened. He continued to wander through the ruins of the sect, hoping to find any survivors. There was. He would definitely end their lives. He truly hated the demon-taming sect. Ever since he had joined it, he had been targeted by all sorts of people even before causing any trouble. He had suffered a lot, but now, he was finally free. As he thought of this, the pungent stench made Suchi feel as if he was on cloud 9.5 minutes later, he met an old man. He was stooped and his robes were dirty. His face was also stained with blood. He knelt in front of the demon-taming sect's gate, his eyes lifeless. Upon seeing him, Suchi immediately perked up. Someone from the demon-taming sect? Great. Suchi placed his right hand on the back of his waist and demonic chi appeared in his palm. It was a horrifying sight. He walked toward the old man. The old man looked up at him, his dry lips slowly opening. You are a disciple of the demon-taming sect? Suchi asked. You are? The old man sighed. I was once a disciple of the demon-taming sect. I was expelled by Master and finally managed to transcend the tribulation. I wanted to come back to take a look before my ascension. I didn't expect the entire sect to be destroyed. I searched for days and nights, but still couldn't find Master's corpse. Tribulation Transcendence Realm. Suchi was so frightened that he quickly dispersed the demonic chi in his palm. He nearly died. After Hanju learned that the entire demon-taming sect had been annihilated, Xinghongxian returned less than 2 months later. The moment she returned, she went to find Hanju. This time, she didn't have any treasure to give him. It's chaotic outside. A demon named Great Sage Green Python has appeared out of nowhere and slaughtered humans. He's extremely cruel and seems to be hunting down his adopted son who betrayed him. Husband, will Great Sage Green Python come to our Great Yen? It's said that the head of the formless sect, enlightened old monster, died in the python's hands. The formless sect surrounded him but returned empty-handed. There were also many casualties. Xinghongxian frowned as she spoke. Hanju raised his eyebrows. Great Sage Green Python again. Even the formless sect could do nothing about him. That was indeed savage, Hanju said calmly. See, if they attack the Jade Pure sect, I won't be able to defeat him. I will bring you away. Xinghongxian was delighted. Was she already in his heart? By the way, when the way here I discovered a cave abode nearby. Whose is it? Xinghongxian pretended to ask casually, not changing his expression. Hanju said, it's Fairy Xixian's. I invited her over so that she can cultivate more easily. Does husband care about her? Yes. After all, she was my master. Just a master-disciple relationship? Why are you asking so many questions? You want to teach me how to do things? I wouldn't dare. As long as you're happy, my husband. Xinghongxian felt wronged, but she was also afraid that she would upset him. Hanju said solemnly, it's normal for a man to have multiple wives in this world. Look at the elders. Who doesn't have several Dao companions? I will have other Dao companions in the future, but if I have to decide who to marry first, I will choose you. Xing Hongxian was pleasantly surprised when she heard that. She hugged his arm and cheered. I knew that you wouldn't forget me. Hanju smiled and didn't reply. The cultivation world was good. In the modern world, this situation would end up in a slaughterhouse. Then, Xing Hongxian started to misbehave. Husband. I've thought about it. What are you thinking about? Aren't you going to cultivate? This is also a form of cultivation. Come, this time you have to be more invested. Be rougher with me. Wishful thinking. Sit down first. A month later, Xing Hongxian left. Hanju continued cultivating. After Xing Hongshuan's reminder, he was even more fearful of Great Sage Green Python. No. I have to break through to the 8th level of the body integration realm as soon as possible. At the same time, Great Sage Green Pythons might had already spread to the Great Yen. The various sects were all fearful. Previously, the Formless sect was already an invincible behemoth in their eyes. They didn't expect that a great demon could defeat the Formless sect alone. How could they not panic? Almost all the sects sent people to the Jade Pure sect to contact Li Qingzi, hoping to obtain their protection. If Great Sage Green Python really attacked, only the Jade Pure sect would be able to resist. When Li Qingzi received the news, he immediately sent core disciples to leave the Great Yen and head to other prefectures to inquire about Great Sage Green Python. 3 years passed. Hanju discovered something ridiculous. Heaven and Earth grass seemed to be a girl.as. Its intelligence continued to increase. Hanju suddenly heard its voice when he was cultivating. It was very weak, like a young girl. That was strange. Hanju asked, why can you speak? He had never taught Heaven and Earth grass any language. My memory is recovering. I seem to have lived before. Heaven and Earth grass cautiously replied, memory. Hanju immediately became vigilant. Could this fellow be an immortal? He used his divine sense to sense its aura. It was not strong, and he could still easily crush it with one foot. Are you my master? Heaven and Earth grass asked. No, I'm your father. Chapter 104, Second Master, Birth of a Demon Saint. Father? No, you're my master. Heaven and Earth grass was taken aback. It fell into deep thought. In my memory, there was once a master. She left and I was eaten by demons. Before I died, I disintegrated and returned to the world. You're my second master. Will you abandon me too? When Hanju heard that, he immediately guessed that the first owner of Heaven and Earth grass was that immortal god. Why would an immortal god care about ordinary grass? Hanju smiled and said, no. From now on, I will bring you wherever I go. He could make a potted plant for the grass. Master is so good to me, Heaven and Earth grass said gratefully. Heaven and Earth grass has a favorable impression of you. Current favorability, 5 stars. Hearing its voice, Hanju felt that the name Cho Chao didn't suit it anymore. Never mind. When it grows up, let it name itself. Hanju chatted with Heaven and Earth grass for a while before continuing to cultivate. At the peak of the mountain, Zhou Fan, Mo Fuzhou, and Xian Shishir stood at the edge of the cliff. Following their gaze, countless demons were crawling on the plains ahead. The largest was like a mountain. The scene was stunning. Zhou Fan frowned and asked, why are Great Sage Green Python's demon soldiers growing so quickly? Mo Fuzhou felt his scalp go numb. After leaving the Great Yen, they would encounter Great Sage Green Python's demon soldiers no matter where they went. It was as if all the demons in the world had already submitted to him. Previously, the demons were suppressed by the humans. Now, even the demon kings don't dare to invade the humans. Don't think that only demons eat humans. In fact, the cultivators have killed even more demons. The appearance of Great Sage Green Python has given the demons hope. Naturally, they will seek refuge under him, Xian Shishir said calmly. She continued, one can ascend after reaching the Tribulation Transcendence realm. Therefore, there are very few Tribulation Transcendence realm experts in the world. As for Mahayana cultivators, there are even fewer. Zhou Fan asked curiously, if one can ascend after transcending the tribulation, why are there still Mahayana cultivators around? Mo Fuzhou also found it strange. It's already very difficult for most cultivators and demons to reach the void amalgamation realm. To reach the body integration realm, they have to rely on luck. To reach the tribulation transcendence realm, they need fortuitous encounters. It's almost impossible for them to advance after that. Therefore, most tribulation transcendence realm experts would choose to ascend directly. However, there are always some lucky people and elites in the world. Even if they reach the tribulation transcendence realm, they can still continue cultivating in the mortal world. I have a senior sister who is the current demon lord. She's already a Mahayana realm cultivator and is still improving. She has chosen not to ascend yet, Xian explained. She was very envious of her senior sister. Currently, it was very difficult for her cultivation level to improve. The tribulation transcendence realm looked like it was only a step away, but in fact, it was far beyond her reach. She sighed and said, if Great Sage Green Python were to break through to the tribulation transcendence realm, he would be considered the #1 demon king among the demons. As expected of the Great Sage. This fellow is full of ambition. The humans of the nearby 10 provinces and 9 dynasties will face a great calamity. Zhou Fan frowned. Then, let's go overseas. He didn't want to face Great Sage Green Python again. Back then, his domination physique couldn't withstand a lash from its tail. Yes, it's a good place to go. I don't think Great Sage Green Python would dare to cause trouble overseas. Xian nodded. Mo Fuzhou asked worriedly, will something happen to the Jade Pure sect? Zhou Fan helplessly said, regarding the matter of Great Sage Green Python, we have already told the sect master. We have already done our best. He also had feelings for the Jade Pure sect, but no amount of feelings could compare to his own life. The three of them continued to watch for a while before quickly leaving. Great Sage Green Python's demonic forces were like a huge hand covering the sky. The cultivators of the various prefectures were all fearful. 7 years later, Hanju took out the Book of Misfortune and started cursing Great Sage Green Python. Tea was still the same 7-day ritual. After cursing, Hanju looked at heaven and earth grass. The grass did not seem to have grown much taller, but it had already begun to produce spirit chi. Hanju was hesitating if he should teach it a cultivation technique. I should. Since it has the potential to be an immortal, it might become a powerful force in the future. Hanju pretended to touch heaven and earth grass, but in fact, he placed the 6 paths insignia into it. What if the grass betrayed him in the future? Besides, the immortal god that heaven and earth grass had encountered previously might have left behind some method. There were many cultivation techniques in Hanju's storage ring, including the Jade Pure sect's Jade Pure technique. In the end, he chose to impart the Pure Jade technique to it. Heaven and earth grass had already awakened its memories. It could speak in the human tongue and was considered a spirit. It wasn't difficult to learn the Pure Jade technique. This was the ultimate technique of the Jade Pure sect. After Taoist 9 cauldrons completed it, it could already be cultivated to the void amalgamation realm. Heaven and earth grass was very happy. The grass swayed and was extremely cheerful. After Hanju finished teaching, he checked his emails through his interpersonal relationships. The chaotic heavenly dog, Yang Tiandong, Zhou Fan, Mo Fuzhou, and the others were still being attacked by the demons. Even Taoist Calm Sky, Huang Jihao, Huang Zuantian, and Shangguan Qiujian were being attacked. Even though he only read the emails, Hanju could still feel the power of the demons. They were attacking the humans in the nearby states. Great Sage Green Python's prestige was greater than Hanju imagined. I wonder if that fellow has broken through to the tribulation transcendence realm? Hanju thought silently and then took out the Book of Misfortune. He started to curse with all his might. Above a vast lake, dark clouds and thunder could be seen. It was deafening. As if the end of the world had arrived. A green-scaled python a few thousand feet long crazily twisted within the endless lightning storm. It stirred up gusts of wind and waves that surged into the sky. Countless bolts of lightning struck the python but did not cause any damage. Not even a single scale fell. This was Great Sage Green Python. He was undergoing tribulation. The white lightning suddenly turned purple. Great Sage Green Python's pupils constricted as he cursed. Upgraded heavenly tribulation. Damn that curse power. This tribulation had already lasted for nearly a month. A few days ago, that strange and mysterious curse power attacked again, becoming more and more intense. Now, it actually caused his heavenly tribulation to become stronger, making him extremely angry. Damn rat, who was it? Great Sage Green Python hated that person to the core. He had actually cursed him behind his back. How wretched. Despite his anger, Great Sage Green Python continued his tribulation. A golden wooden staff flew out and hovered above Great Sage Green Python's head. It absorbed a myriad of lightning bolts and helped the python transcend the tribulation. Great Sage Green Python let out a long sigh and muttered, "I still had to use this treasure." After all, taking advantage of the golden staff enduring the heavenly tribulation, Great Sage Green Python transformed into his human form and began deducing the power of the curse. However, no matter how the python calculated, he couldn't find the other party. Great Sage Green Python was even more furious. He swore that if he discovered the other party, he would tear him to shreds. Time passed. A month went by. Great Sage Green Python had successfully transcended his tribulation and officially stepped into the tribulation transcendence realm. A terrifying demonic aura filled the world, shaking the mountains, the land, and the vast lakes. From now on, I'm a true demon saint. Great Sage Green Python laughed impudently. A demonic aura surrounded him as if dozens of black dragons were coiling around him. It was extremely domineering. His snake eyes were cold as he looked into the distance and muttered, "Unfilial son, this saint will definitely kill you. This saint will let you taste the most painful torture in this world. This saint will make sure you never reincarnate again." He was naturally referring to his adopted son, Yang Tiandong. Chapter 105, 8th Level of the Body Integration Realm, Heavenly Tao Spirit Stone. 6 years later, Hanju finally broke through to the 8th level of the Body Integration Realm. He opened his eyes and exhaled. The Tribulation Transcendence Realm still required several decades, but it was close now. After the Tribulation Transcendence Realm was the Mahayana Realm. Hanju didn't know if the Grand Unity Realm was above that. He had always treated the Vermilion Bird as his imaginary enemy, so he felt that the Body Integration Realm wasn't strong enough. There was still a long way to go. Hanju habitually checked his emails. Your disciple Yang Tiandong was attacked by demons. X8499, your pet, the chaotic heavenly dog, was attacked by demons. X14923. Your grand disciple Morong Chi was attacked by a fiendish cultivator. X233. Your good friend Taoist Calm Sky was attacked by a demon king and was severely injured. Your disciple Su Chi was attacked by a righteous cultivator. X74. Your good friend Taoist 9 Cauldrons was attacked by a righteous cultivator and was severely injured. Your Tao companion Xian Qingjun gained enlightenment in the Tao discussion and her cultivation improved greatly. So many demons, so many demon kings. Hanju frowned. How chaotic was the outside world. He walked out of the cave abode and came to the Fusong tree to stretch his muscles. Sun Chang'an stood up and bowed. The black hell chicken was still sleeping on the Fusong tree. Hanju sized up the tree. It was very healthy, and the earth immortal gourd vine on the tree was also not bad. It would take a long time for it to give birth to a gourd child. Master, Morong Chi hasn't been back for some time. I want to go find him. Is that okay? Sun Chang'an asked softly. Hanju said calmly, "Don't go. Be careful not to be eaten by the demons. He's fine. He has extraordinary luck and will be able to survive." As his cultivation level increased, Sun Chang'an's physical body also began to emit spirit chi like a heavenly treasure. Previously, Sun Chang'an had been frightened, but as time passed, he finally got used to it. It was all thanks to the heartless flying sword that this guy did not go to seduce Chiener recently. The cultivation world has not been very peaceful. I heard the discussions among the disciples. They're all talking about Great Sage Green Python. This demon might very well become a calamity to this world. Although he has not affected the Great Yen yet, it might happen in the future. I'm worried that something will happen to my cheer. Sun Chang'an frowned. Your cheer. Hanju got goosebumps after hearing that. Their master-disciple relationship was really deep. Hanju said, "You're very attractive to demons. Be careful that you are caught before you can find Morong Chi. When the time comes, you'll need your disciple to save you." Anyway, it's impossible for me to save you. How many times have I told you all not to run around and cultivate in peace? You guys just don't listen. Soon Chang'an felt that it made sense and could only give up. The black hell chicken had awoken at some point. It asked, Master, the chaotic heavenly dog has yet to return. Did it die outside? Hanju replied, not dead, but sometimes, being alive is worse than death. He gets beaten up every day. Master can predict that? Of course. Thankfully, I didn't go out. Master really didn't lie to me. If that great sage green python were to attack, we could just run away. The black hell chicken sighed. It was unknown if it was afraid or worried about the chaotic heavenly dog. It had been waiting for the chaotic heavenly dog to return. If it died outside, it would definitely be sad. After all, it had hatched the egg, Hanju said. We'll see. If we can't win, we can only run. He was already at the 8th level of the body integration realm. Even if Great Sage Green Python successfully broke through, he shouldn't be able to defeat him, right? The difference between the Tribulation Transcendence realm and the 9th level of the body integration realm was not so great. After chatting for an hour, Hanju returned to the cave abode and continued cultivating. A month later, Li Qingzi came to visit. Hanju raised his eyebrows and said, could it be that Great Sage Green Python is already here? Li Qingzi was definitely not carrying good news. The Guyuan state is about to fall. Great Sage Green Python has tens of millions of demonic soldiers. There are countless demon kings under him. Even the West Abyss State and the Great Way are being attacked by the demon army. I'm afraid it won't be long before it's our Jade Pure Sect's turn, Li Qingzi said worriedly. Elder Han, it's said that Great Sage Green Python has already broken through to the legendary Tribulation Transcendence realm. It has more than 100 body integration and void amalgamation realm demon kings under him. Li Qingzi was too embarrassed to continue. He wasn't confident that Hanju could face so many demon kings alone. Hanju was shocked. So many? Why isn't the cultivation world working together? According to my previous understanding, there are no Tribulation Transcendence realm cultivators in the 10 provinces and 9 dynasties near the Great Yen. The strongest is only at the body integration realm. 2 years ago, a mysterious Tribulation Transcendence realm cultivator appeared at the border of the Guyuan state. He wanted to stop Great Sage Green Python but was nearly beaten to death by him. Now, all the provinces are fearful and many sects were forced to move. Do you think we should move? Li Qingzi asked carefully. If even Hanju was not confident, it was better to run as soon as possible. Facing the menacing Great Sage Green Python, Sect Master Li Qingzi is fearful and wants to relocate the sect. You have the following choices. 1. Agree and escape with the Jade Pure Sect. You can obtain a numinous treasure. 2. Reject and stay behind to wait for Great Sage Green Python. You can obtain a heavenly Tao Spirit Stone. 3 lines of words appeared in front of Hanju. He frowned. Move where? Overseas, we'll seek refuge with the ancestor. He's getting beaten up constantly, and you still want to join him? Oh. How did Elder Han know? I can deduce it. Besides, can we avoid Great Sage Green Python's army along the way? No. The states and dynasties around the Great Yen are under attack by demons. Wherever we go, we will encounter demons. Tell all the disciples to come back. Hanju shook his head. Since he would encounter demons if he fled, he might as well stay and fight. All the disciples gathered in the sect, Hanju wouldn't have to go around saving people. He just had to wait here. At that time, he would be the first to kill the attacking Great Sage Green Python. The remaining demon kings would naturally be scared out of their wits. Hanju thought about whether he should go out to find Great Sage Green Python, but on second thought, where could he go to find it? He would regret it if his home was destroyed while he was out. Hanju didn't care if the other sects in the cultivation world were destroyed. The only one he could not bear to part with was the Jade Pure Sect. So what if the world outside was devastated if the Jade Pure Sect was intact? Hanju didn't want to be a savior. That would only give rise to endless trouble in the future. Moreover, it was impossible for Great Sage Green Python to slaughter the entire human race. Hanju had encountered more than one Mahayana realm cultivator already. You rejected the sect master and chose to stay. You obtained a Heavenly Tao Spirit Stone. Heavenly Tao Spirit Stone contains the power of the Heavenly Tao. If fused with a Dharma treasure, it will be elevated by a grade. Huh, not bad. Hanju was attracted by the Heavenly Tao Spirit Stone. Li Qingzi nodded. I'll give the order now. With that, he stood up and left. After he left the cave abode, Hanju took out the Heavenly Tao Spirit Stone. This Spirit Stone was purple in color and looked like a brick. Hanju's divine sense entered it and was immediately repelled by a powerful force, power of the Heavenly Tao. Hanju fell into deep thought. Which treasure should he fuse it with? He had to choose the highest grade Dharma treasure. Otherwise, it would be a loss. Primordial Judgment Sword, or the Book of Misfortune.